Hey folks, Littlest Enderman here, and I'm coming to you today to give you my own opinions on World of Warcraft's history and how I've felt about the expansions. There have been a lot of people leaving the game lately, and I'm curious as to what everyone's reasons are for staying with or leaving the game. I'm staying with it for now, and I'm going to tell you why in this video. I still play, mostly because I enjoy it. I enjoy the build-up of the lore, and I love watching the stories play out from beginning to end. One of the things I like about MMOs, and specifically World of Warcraft, is the depth of the lore. I love seeing the new stories unfold, and I love watching how the past affects the present. Burning Crusade just felt like a natural extension of vanilla. A little streamlining, more story and quests, the introduction of raid progression, giving classes something like a rotation. All of it felt like it was what WoW was meant to be. Wrath of the Lich King, though, was my favorite expansion by far, from beginning to end, with a minor speed bump around Trial of the Crusader. They did an excellent job with the build-up of the story, all the way from your landing in either Borean Tundra or Howling Fjord, up to your raids in Icecrown. I even loved that they brought back a vanilla raid as an entry point for a raiding. Naxxramas was something that almost no one got to see back in vanilla. So the fact that it was brought back and was given such a big part of the Dragonblight quest lines, and on top of that, given, importance as the entry-level raid for the expansion, was just an amazing step, in my opinion. I think that was a great idea on their part. And the storyline with the Titans and Yogg-Saron and Ulduar was freaking fantastic. Again, with the exception of Trial of the Crusader, because it felt slapped on, not very well thought out. With the exception of that, Wrath was amazing from start to finish. Kato was okay. I liked the rework to Azeroth, but Deathwing as a villain felt like a step backwards. In Burning Crusade, we had Kael'thas, we had the betrayed Illidan the Betrayer, and Kil'jaeden the Deceiver himself. Wrath only really had two main villains, Yogg-Saron and the Lich King, but they were amazing villains, one of which Arthas had fought once already in Warcraft 3. They took a related moment in the game and built on it, building up the old gods as a rather nasty threat we were going to have to deal with, and making it so that Cthulhu wasn't the last and only one. It gave the world more depth and history, while giving us something terrifying to overcome in the process. Then in Cataclysm we had a giant evil dragon, whose only ties to the world's lore were his antics in the expansion for Warcraft 2, and then things that only happened in the expansion itself. And even at the end, the heroes didn't really kill the final boss. An NPC did that. Thrall, Green Jesus himself, was the true hero of the story. And all the characters did was pop Deathwing's back zits and give him a pedicure. Dragon Soul was likely a much cooler raid on paper, because in practice it fell short of being fun. Yes, tying him to the old gods was a cool idea, but it just didn't matter much when the actual fight felt like a letdown. Mists of Pandaria was a little underrated, I think. Yes, it was a clear attempt at drawing in the younger Kung Fu Panda audience. But they didn't just stop there. They didn't just make the whole thing a giant Kung Fu Panda cartoon. They gave Pandarans real personality. Pandaria itself had a very deep history and lore, and the whole of the continent was very stylized and interesting to look at. I feel like a lot of people go, ugh, pandas, it's so stupid, without actually bothering to look at Pandaran culture and what they brought to the world. Monks, now that they've been balanced a bit better, they're a really fun class to play for all three specs. Although it was never really all that expensive, they removed the time and money sink of having to go back to your trainer every 2 levels just to get new skills. I liked how streamlined it made leveling. And then finally getting to deal with Garrosh's idiocy was pretty damn satisfying. Then we have Warlords of Draenor. Okay, I like the leveling experience. They did an amazing job with the quest progression and making leveling feel cinematic, making your actions feel like they had a real impact on the world around you. But the garrisons. Freaking garrisons. They turned World of Warcraft into a mobile MMO with that. Garrisons didn't feel anything like what an MMO should be. They felt like a time sink and busy work. I mean, it felt like a half-baked concept that didn't really give enough content to make it feel like it was anything other than busy work. And even then, it felt like it was more something that should have been on a cell phone game rather than an MMO with a monthly subscription fee. I mean, I know there should be a time or gold sink in the expansions to keep people coming back, but those shouldn't be running your character dry. And the dailies shouldn't start to feel stale after the second time you do them. Like, I'm leveling through Draenor again right now, leveling an Arcane Mage, and I'm enjoying the leveling experience, but I still kind of feel like ignoring the garrison unless I have no other choice. I mean, I really do like the idea of them, but they just... I don't know. They lack enough substance to be worth dealing with, I guess. To make matters worse, we're already going to have to wait nearly 6 more months for Legion. Everyone seems to be looking forward to Legion. Heck, even the devs seem to be more interested in it, since they're putting all their time and energy into Legion. And they've sort of abandoned Warlords with very little actual enjoyable content. I'm looking forward to Legion, I just really hope Blizzard doesn't end up screwing the pooch with it. It feels to me like a little bit of a letdown that even the devs have gone, yeah, Warlord sucks, we're going to go focus on something else. But in the meantime, the player base has nothing to do for the next 6 months other than sit here and go, yep, Legion sure looks good. And I can't help but wonder how much of us sitting here going, Legion sure looks good, is by us looking at what's coming and comparing it to the most recent things we've gotten. I mean, it might end up not being all that great, but we might end up loving it because it's not Warlords. And I'm kind of worried that that's going to end up being the case. Anyway, that's all I really have to say on the matter. Feel free to leave a comment in the down below telling me your own thoughts on the state of the game, and why you've decided to either stop or keep playing. This is Andy, signing off, and reminding you to smile because it'll make someone's day. Have a good one.